Hey, welcome back to another Haven't Read It video. Today's first story is from r/antiwork, and it's titled, ChatGPT is going to make me end it. I am so fucking over my boss saying ChatGPT says to, it's not accurate, it's not a source of truth. If you want something done, just tell me. I'll make it happen in a logical and appropriate way. I'm an accountant working at a company without an accounting department. He is a CEO/owner, of course. There is no CFO. I'm actively looking for a new job, but holy fuck. Just ask me the question you're asking it. I'll provide you with the correct information. He likes it because it's fast. He can get immediate answers, but they're not accurate. I'm losing my shit. Top comment says, the Mel Brooks rule applies here. Agree enthusiastically with what your boss says, and then when he leaves, do whatever you were going to do anyway. And start looking for a new job. Sorry, mate. OP responds, I've been looking for over a year, unfortunately. That's exactly how everyone handles him. Second top comment says, if it makes you feel any better, OP, I work at sales, and we now have to follow the Salesforce maps for our route, which a computer generates. We used to make our own, since we know which accounts need consistent visits, and when the shot caller is usually in. But now, with the computer-generated map, it sends you to the most inefficient routes and lowest producing accounts. It will literally send you to an account that's an hour away, in one town just for that one business, then send you to a totally other town another hour away, instead of you going to a town with multiple accounts and just having you hit them all. And when you bring up the inefficiency of it, with examples of how dumb it is, up to managers, well, it's company procedure now, so just follow it. Someone responds, just saw our new rules for the salespeople. Make your planning/sales budget through the AI. Next top comment says, tornadoes came through last week. I have a family member who has a basement, but went to her shop instead because ChatGPT told her that her shop would be safer than the basement. These people will literally listen to anything except for common sense. That is wild, man. Next top comment says, I used to date a guy who used ChatGPT as a way to get a third-party unbiased opinion on our arguments, and it was absolutely horrible. He'd screenshot our arguments and ask ChatGPT what it thought. So stupid. Needless to say, that relationship did not last long. Next story from Boomers Being Fools. Trump or Grandma can't reach the VA. My grandpa has Fox News brain rot. Trump or Grandpa can't reach the VA. He talked about Bidenflation every time I called. Called Obama the worst president ever. He didn't get vaccinated because he didn't want to get microchipped. I kept quiet to keep the peace from my grandma, who privately told me she didn't like what happened on January 6th. When I spoke to her a few weeks ago, I mentioned that everything was even more expensive than before, and she got really defensive. Give Trump a chance, blah blah. I didn't realize she had actually gone through with voting for him. Since then, my grandpa has fallen multiple times and needs a ramp installed. They can't afford it and found out that the VA would install a ramp for him for free. But Grandma can't get in touch with the VA benefits office. Guess who has been laying off VA employees, Grandma? Boomers will literally vote themselves into extinction. Top comment says, good, I love a happy ending. Second top comment says, tell them to get off that socialized healthcare and pay for it themselves. True, man, so true. Next comment, my wife works for the VA for now. Your grandma is fucked. This comment quotes, boomers will literally vote themselves to extinction and take the rest of us along with them. It's the ultimate ladder pull-up. Next comment says, has he tried not being poor? That is for woke people. He should be rich from the tariffs any day now, so he'll be able to afford the ramp. Next story, don't you dare put that in your mouth. Not the standard MC story, but I think definitely applies. When my sister and I were much younger, we lived in this nice house in the southeast United States. We would go out to play in the driveway. This driveway was lined with railroad ties, and beyond those a thick layer of monkey grass. At the time, the monkey grass was covered in the little blackberries. As soon as my sister, about 4 to 5 at the time, saw them, she was fascinated. She ran over, stripped a handful off the stem, and went to put them in her mouth. Our father quickly yelled, don't you dare put those in your mouth, young lady. My sister stopped her movement, stared down at the berries in her hand, and back at our father. You could see the wheels turning, her hand opening, dropping all but one berry. That single berry was pinched between her fingers. She smiled broadly as she shoved the hard black berry as far as she could up her nose. It was a stunningly long few seconds before she realized her mistake. The smile morphed into a scream, and my father quickly ran over to see if he could remove the berry. He could not, and so he took a trip to the family doctor. A short time later, with a lot of tears and a long set of tweezers, the berry was removed from the screaming kiddo. She learned a valuable lesson that day. Although malicious compliance may feel good in a moment, sometimes you pay for it. Top comment says, my daughter called me once in a panic. Mom, how do you get popcorn out of a toddler's nose? I'm Pop Colonel. Youngest son was about 3. She kept trying to get him to blow his nose, but he just sniffed it in further. Fortunately, her middle child, 14 months older, was both just enough older than his brother that he understood what she wanted, and young enough that he could use his preschooler logic to make his little brother understand. There was snot all over the living room, but the popcorn kernel came out without recourse to urgent care. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you in the next one.